Okay.
Because there will be too many questions.
A preliminary issue,
okay,
which could be important to this committee. And sorry for coming in late. I've read through the response by the ministry, and Chair, this is the same response that was provided to the National Assembly as a response to a statement by Honorable Diki Maungu. And this particular response then was signed by the PS for Interior, Raymond Omoro. And it was rejected by the members. Now what they have done is that they have just maintained the same copy-paste and given to the CS to sign. So on the issue of admissibility, I would like you to roll on that, because this statement was rejected because basically the first 3 paragraphs were actually my statement before the police. And then there were insinuations in that statement which the members rejected. So on the
Senator,
aspect of admissibility, I would like you to make a decision on that.
Senator,
so that you don't waste my time.
Let me guide you first of all. Like you said, you came late. We are handling the statement by Senator Dulo on the shooting that happened in Isiolo, and then we're going to come to your matter. Now, in terms of whether or not if this is a copy-paste of the submissions that was made by to the National Assembly, we are going to establish that, and maybe before we reach clerk, if we can get confirmation, and then we'll give a ruling on that. So let us allow the IG to respond on the questions that have been raised.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members. Let me start by saying that the questions that have been raised are valid, and they are very, very important, actually. I'm going to deal with some parts. Mr. Amin is going to do the others, and I will also invite the DIG KPS to deal with a certain section of some of the questions that have been asked. Number one, I first of all want to repeat what I've said there before, that our country is safe and secure. All of us, this morning we woke up we are okay. We don't have few cases here and deal with them as guided by our constitution and the law. There are gaps that were found by the investigators in the ongoing investigation, and we have indicated, and Mr. Amin has said that very clearly that that is why we are calling upon the Honorable Senator to come forward and then give us a statement so that we can be able to actually fill the gaps and move on with the investigation. Mr. Amin is going to deal with the other parts of the question that were raised by the chair.
to shoot back, and he was held back by those who are covering the scene. And if you want the name, I will provide. After the rally, I went to record a statement and reported to Kina police station. From there, we went to Kina, to Garbatula. We sat with OSPD. I'll be very fast, senators. Chair, I came back to Nairobi. I did a statement on the floor of the House. I wrote a statement, personal statement to CCIO Isiolo. I have copies of my statements here. Chair, sorry to take you back. A day after the shooting, the governor went public, and I wish I could play that video here. And I've given it to the DCI and CCIO, the CCIO Isiolo. The governor said, part of the statements were in Kiborana and part of it is in Kiswahili. He said, do you know what the mad woman said yesterday in Kenya? And he also were marks on the wall to see whether the walls were affected when the shooting happened. A month after the shooting, even if there is evidence, it will not be there. Yeah? Chair, I really want to have IG to tell me whether the governor has been summoned to issue a statement. If not, then it's my belief that there is some people somewhere who are protecting the governor of Isiolo. And I want to be on record on that. Number two, I really want to report the data of triangulation from Safaricom. I have reliable information. The suspects were calling themselves or each other more than 20 times on that particular day. There is money that changed hands on the first and the real day of the shooting. But what I'm getting, Chair, is that there is interference with that data. And I want to conclude.
Thank you.
Chairman, I want to conclude by saying
you've not
this.
concluded.
I have not concluded. The police is very clear, the Police Act, that the police can compel any witness by law to appear before the investigative officers. From the day of shooting, and I have complained, the governor of Isiolo is suspicious because of the statement he has made. I want to know whether the investigative officer has written to him a copy of that letter, whether his statement was taken. Those are the matters I really want to hear. Chair, there is even an officer from KPLC who was actually stabbed to death in Isiolo County last week by a close ally of the governor. Up to date, the victim is dead, the suspect is at large, nothing is happening. Let me conclude by saying the only way I will feel safe, and the suspects have vowed, the governor has vowed that this matter will not go anywhere. I have made sure that everybody has been fed in police service. The only way, and I've discussed it with IG, that I will feel satisfied those suspects by now should have been behind bars. But they have the protection of the governor and those who are allied to him. The only thing I'm asking this committee and the government is that independent investigators should be sent to Isiolo to investigate on this matter. Otherwise, I will repeat. There is all intention that is being planned that I should not move around within Isiolo. And I will not see the light of the day to contest the seat of Governor Isiolo. But that will not cow me. But I want justice to be done to what has happened. Because some of the allegation by this governor and his ally, there was no shooting. I have actually just made an allegation. And that is why this matter has not moved a month down the line. Thank you very much, and I'll stop at that for now. To reach me, that is unanswered.
Thank you. So, Honorable Chair, when I was evaluating the evidence in the file, and I asked the investigations team, and the RCIO Eastern is here in the house, what occasioned the delay? And they explained to me that they were not able to reach the Honorable Senator. That's the information I got from my officers on the ground.
The aspect of the call data, Honorable Chairman, I've not said that the investigations team have not gotten call data from the service providers. We received some information from the service provider, which has been subjected to analysis. And Honorable Chair, analysis is a process. It is like an onion. You peel the first layer, you get another layer. And for you to analyze this information, you again have to revert back to the service provider to give you some more information. You get that information, you analyze, you again get some additional information. So it's a continuous process. So what I'm saying is that, yes, we have received some call data records from Safaricom, but after receiving that information, it yielded to the need to have to conduct some further analysis. So it is a continuous process.
Otherwise, like I said, Honorable Chair, I am very, very optimistic that the new team will do justice to these investigations and action will be taken. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. Senator Lilema.
Thank you, Chair. This question is directed to the IG. This incident happened in February 23rd February 2026. In Samburu, we lost an MCA on 25th February 2024. I know the report is not official, it's not ready. I don't know even whether the DCI investigated the matter when the MCA was killed. But on this specific matter, as you continue, because you said you're continuing with your investigations, what specific measures have you put in place to protect the senator? That is since 25th February 2026. Tell this committee the specific measures you have taken to protect the senator from re-victimization as you proceed with your investigations.
Chair, you have opened another round of questions, but there are questions that have not been answered. On the chain of custody of tear gas canisters, for instance, it has not been addressed.
If you could also address that. No other senator? Okay. IG, you can respond.
Thank you very much, Chair. It is true that there are a number of questions that have not been replied to, but we were also listening to the Honorable Senator of Samburu on on the matters that he was also raising that are also serious matters. But going back to Honorable Senator Sivona on the matters of tear gas canisters and the other government stores, let me say this in a very, very broad way, that all government stores have got a procedure through which the storage is done, any issuance is done, there is a procedure, and even once whatever the exercise is over, how they are returned and accounted for. That procedure is there. Honorable Chair and members, it is true that in the course of duty, we have lost some of our government stores, including tear gas canisters. They have been lost. During the fracas and skirmishes that ordinarily happen when protests or anything else turns ugly, anything can happen. We have even lost guns here, this country, and then they are recovered later on. So the issue here is that once a store of that nature is lost, an investigation is also commenced so that we can be able to establish the facts as they are. How many, who was holding that? Why is it that it got lost? Honorable Chair and honorable members, right now I know we have got some arrests of some people who have been found with tear gas canisters and other stores. Those investigations are ongoing so that we can be able to establish exactly where they have gotten. But I want to assure this committee, I want to assure the entire parliament that we do take care of our stores. We do follow the procedures that are established in terms of taking care of government stores. And any loss that can occur at any given time is investigated to the logical conclusion. And if there is anyone who is found to have been responsible for the loss, then it's dealt with as guided by the law. That is the correct position as to the government stores, including the tear gas stores and many other stores.
So, IG, just clarify for me, and I hope I'm not taking too much time, Chair. There was an incident in Kakamega where I was. Is there investigation?
Chair, finally, I've even written to Head of State to intervene on this matter, and I have copies of the letters of how serious this matter is, and I will not stop at that to make sure that this matter is dealt with.
That even getting any kind of information from it is always difficult.
Are those stores serialized, finally? Is there a serial number on a canister?
Yes, they are serialized.
So when they are issued, is there a record that serial number 345 has gone out?
Yes, has gone out.
So that even if it's obliterated, IG, you can tell that this is the canister that came from so and so.
Exactly. That is what we are on, your Honorable Chair, because you see these canisters are distributed throughout the country. As I said, we have got 1,300 police stations and the other formations that of the police, and they have all these stores. So when we are investigating, it's quite an elaborate way of dealing with these issues, because we cannot say that because it happened in the Western region, probably it came from Western region.
But there's a serial number, IG. There's a serial number to each canister.
Yes.
And you have confirmed to us that when it leaves a police station, it doesn't matter which one of the police stations it is, there is a record that serial number this to this has been issued, right?
Exactly.
So it is very possible for you to establish where that canister in Kakamega came from.
Very, very, very true, Honorable Chair. And this is why I'm saying we have even arrested some people with tear gas canisters. They are in our cells, and those investigations are ongoing because we want to go back up and find the origin of that canister, and then it will be able to inform us much more in terms of why, where, who did what, and then that way we can be able to take the appropriate measures as required, Honorable Chair. The other question that is also remaining is the pattern of attacks. Yes, a pattern of attacks in this country by goons. But before I go there, let me mention this. Number one, as a starting point, the question that was raised by Honorable Senator Fatuma Dulo. There is no one in the Republic of Kenya who is above the law.
No, the governor of Isiolo is above the law. And I will put on record.
Senator Dulo, allow the IG to respond.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. As I've said, there is no one who is above the law. And as the DCI has indicated, let us allow the investigations to go on. If the investigations point to the governor of Isiolo, then rest assured that he will have to record his statements. And if it's connected with what we are investigating, then we will go ahead and do what the service is supposed to do. So, Honorable Chair and Honorable members, there is no one in the Republic of Kenya who is above the law. That is the correct position. That is the position of the National Police Service, the position of the Inspector General.
Chair.
What's your point of order, Senator?
Chair, with all due respect to IG, you have all the evidence with you. You have the clip where the governor said, I know who did the shooting. Is there a link between what he has said and the current investigation going on? With all due respect. Secondly, Chair, there is something they have raised as far as the suspects are concerned. Now, the two suspects, one of them is my stepbrother, the other one is not. And they are being used by the governor, paid. I want to go on record, paid politically to fight me on the ground. And we are not even in talking terms. He's my stepbrother. So, Chair, I want to close this. There is a statement, there is a question I raised to the IG. What measures are you going to put in place to make sure that similar situation does not happen to me in Isiolo, which I'm not seeing even from this current investigation? So, Chair, I don't want to be prophet of doom, but let me tell you, even from the concerns I raised on my earlier complaint, DCI is not commented, IG has not commented, which clearly I am being intimidated, victimized, harassed. I have no right actually to move around even in Isiolo County. I make complaint, and I'm a citizen of this country. When my life is in danger, as an elected leader of Isiolo County, how do I protect my people? And that is the question Isiolo people are asking. If Fatuma Dulo, chair of security, elected senator, is attacked and no action is being taken, she's in the nanny. And that is the question I'm actually putting to this committee.
Chair, you have to guide us on time because we have two other agendas.
Yes, we have.
But I just wanted to put it on record, the IG, that you can understand Senator Fatuma Dulo's skepticism. You know, I am a member of another committee where you appeared, the Public Accounts Committee. And you came there and you gave an assurance that if this, any Senate committee gives you a directive, for instance, to produce a governor, you would produce him. Now, IG, this is where the skepticism of Fatuma Dulo comes in, that somehow these governors are above the law. We gave you a directive to produce the governor of Samburu. You told us you couldn't find him, and we could see on live television he's at State House. All you need to do is to just wait for him outside State House and bring him to the Senate. He comes and starts taking videos outside the Senate. There's a parliament police here. And your officers are saying they can't see the governor of Samburu until we had to take it upon ourselves to try and effect a citizen's arrest. Unfortunately, he has a very good spring in his step. And he fled. We gave you a directive, IG, to produce the governor of Nairobi. You failed to produce, you pretend like you don't know where the governor of Nairobi is, IG. And this is why Fatuma Dulo, Senator of Isiolo, is saying somehow these governors are above the law. When it comes to arresting senators, I remember the humiliation that my minority leader, the Honorable Stuart Mazayo, went through when we were protesting here. Your staff manhandled him. We senators know we are not above the law, but surely there is a pattern here, IG, that brings that skepticism, that somehow you are avoiding bringing governors to account. And that is a fear you have to address, and I've given you specific examples.
Thank you, Senator. IG, you can see how emotive senators are on this issue. As you respond to the matters raised by Senator Dulo and Senator Sifuna on whether or not if the governors are above the law, we know you've actually made it very clear they are not. But it seems there's some, in some way, action is not being taken against certain governors when they've been accused of some offenses. As you address that, and as these investigations are ongoing, can you also tell this committee, because Senator Dulo has repeatedly stated here that as the Senator of Isiolo County, she does not feel safe going back to Isiolo, and her security is not guaranteed. What steps has the National Police Service taken to guarantee the security of the Senator, her staff, and her supporters in Isiolo? If you could also elaborate on that, will be very important. IG, please proceed.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair and Honorable members. Number one, let me start by saying that, as I've said there before, there's no one who is above the law. The two governors, I was here for Governor Nairobi, remember, and finally he came to you, the governor for Saburu. He was here. Yes, you know what happened. But the bottom line is one, Honorable Chair and Honorable members. There is nobody who is above the law. That is the way it is. And what has been raised by Honorable Fatuma Dulo, the Senator for Isiolo, they are, weighty issues on matter security. And what the National Police Service has done to address the issues of security actually throughout the Republic of Kenya, and I've said that our country is safe, but we have areas that require specific actions to ensure that they are safe. For example, in Isiolo, in Meru, in Laikipia, and even in Saburu, these are areas that we have had problems with the number one, cattle rustling, and also availability of illicit small arms and light weapons in those areas. So what is it that the National Police Service has done to control that? Looking at what we did in the North Rift, including the areas of Marakwet and other areas that were very much disturbed for a lengthy period of time, which are now quiet. That is exactly what we have instituted to address the issues that are in Isiolo, to address the issues that are in Meru, and to address the issues that are in Laikipia and even Saburu. We have operation in all those areas that are ongoing. Number one, to ensure that the people of Meru, their animals are safe.
And for quite some time since I instituted that operation, we have not experienced losses of animals in Isiolo, in Meru. We have recovered a substantial number of animals in the Mukogodo area, an area that has been very notorious, where animals stolen in the other areas are hidden because it is clear that the security agencies cannot be able to reach. We have big operations in those areas. And even to ensure that that area gets additional security so that we can be able to mop up the illegal firearms that are to be found in the areas of Isiolo, which is an area where the Honorable Senator Fatuma Dulo is the elected senator.
we have teams, and we have collected several firearms from that end. Right now, I have directed that the trainees, the recruits, who are currently undergoing training in the Ebakasi A campus, formerly the APTC, they are already there, undergoing the practical part of their training. That is actually in furtherance of ensuring that the current operation is enhanced by ensuring that, number one, all the illegal guns that are in that end, we have got adequate numbers to get them. And number two, ensure that there is no more cattle raids in that area. This also applies to Isiolo. Honorable Chair and honorable members, I was involved in a very big operation that was in Masabit sometimes back when I was a commandant in GSU. There was a time Masabit was quite difficult, and I know even the honorable senator, Masabit is here, he can confirm that. There was a time it was very difficult. We went there, it is quiet. I want to assure the honorable senator for Isiolo that even in Isiolo, is going to be quiet like how we have made the other areas quiet. So the National Police Service takes it very, very serious. And it also takes it as one of its primary responsibility to see to it that even Isiolo, the Honorable Senator of Isiolo, can go and visit each and every corner of that county without any fear, without even looking over her shoulder, because she feels that she is unsafe. I want to assure her that everything is okay and we are in control. The same case applies to Laikipia, and the same case even applies to Zaburu, where I have operated there before and there were serious challenges. But now things are much better. Thank you very much.
Thank you, IG. And I think we will take it as your personal guarantee and submission that you have actually stated that you're going to provide adequate security for Senator Dulo as she conducts her political business in Isiolo, and we appreciate that. Before I allow the other senators to go on record and we move on to the next issue of Senator Osorti, first of all, for those senators who are asking about the letter from Murkomen, we have received the letter from Murkomen, giving his apologies for not being able to attend today. Before I allow the senators to go on record, I just have one final question for the IG. The Speaker of the House had directed your office to file a report after 14 days on this matter of Dulo. I just want to understand why your office failed to comply with the directive to submit a report within 14 days. IG.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair and Honorable members. I want to confirm to this committee that the report was submitted, but maybe along the night there was somewhere where it had not been received. But I remember signing that report. And it is, if you look at probably at the records, you'll find that the report was here before the 14 days were over.
Chair.
Okay, we will confirm with the clerk.
What report will be there when investigation is done even today? There's no report.
Very well. One moment, you have not even gone on record, Senator Eddie. Can I allow you people to go on record first of all? The senators who are here, starting from Senator Faki, please go on record so that we can proceed.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, IG and your team. Senator Mohamed Faki, Munyaji, Mombasa County. I'm a friend of this committee. Thank you. Good morning, Chair. Our guest today. My name is Mohamed Chute, Senator Marsabit, and a friend of this committee. Thank you, Chair.
Yes, my name is Senator Kongo Mogeni. I'm a member of this committee.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Senator Eddie Okech, Senator from Migori County, and a friend to this committee. Chair, if you may allow me,
Just a moment, Senator Eddy.
I didn't want to water down the issue of Osorti because I think it's a very
we are moving on now. We are moving to the issue. That's the next issue we are handling.
And that's what I'm
saying.
saying.
I start on that issue now so that you can contribute to it?
No, I'm just saying that I had an issue to raise on this issue of governance and Senator Strassel before the Osorti issue, because I think that
issues of governance,
the insecurity that senators are facing with governance on the ground, just because I just wanted the response from IG on this.
So you have a question?
Yes.
On that?
Yes. Because I think if I mix it with the issue of Osorti, it is going to water down the Osorti issue. I think Osorti issue should be handled just as is.
Ask your question.
So IG, my question is, I need to understand, because you are charged with ensuring security in our country. How does information flow from you, from the ground to you, where there is, because there are a number of cases that have happened at least in my county, that I haven't seen any action to hold stakeholders accountable from your desk. In February, there was an incident where the governor of Migori County and the MP of Sula West were engaged in serious violence initiated by the governor, and we had one death and several injuries of young people in Migori County. Last year, in Uriri, there was another incident where the same governor had a serious confrontation with the MP of the area in a funeral, that several women were injured. They don't have limbs now, in a place called Central Kanyamkago, not Kanyamkago. And lastly, when I left with the Committee of Finance and Budget to go to Migori also last year to work, there was a serious confrontation by the same governor on the Finance and Budget Committee, members of the Senate, with goons that deterred the senators from going to
Senator Eddy, you were
do
supposed
their
to ask
oversight.
a question.
So my question is,
Just
how does information reach your desk when there is this serious cases of violence by governors on elected leaders? Because if they happen and they're not taken care of in terms of accountability, does it mean that there's no security architecture on the ground from your desk?
Thank you, Senator. IG, very briefly, if you could address that so that we can move on.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members. And also, we want to appreciate the Center for Migori for that very, very, valid questions. Number one, what I would like to say on this is that we have got a very, very elaborate way of communication through which the NPS, the National Police Service, communicates from where I sit to the lowest levels. That communication is there. Number two, I am sure that investigations must have been opened on this, but there's something, Chair, that if allowed, you can be able to answer to the questions raised, specific questions on what has been raised by the Senator Migori. But my assurance to this committee is that there is an elaborate communication from bottom to the top, and even from top to the bottom, and even horizontally. Those communications are there. So that is what determines when to add in the numbers, where, what is required, why do we need a formation, formed up unit, or all those kind of, so to ensure that everything is okay. But on specific questions, probably we would request, Chair, if we can be given time, we can be able now to answer to them.
Very well, IG. Senator Eddy, we're going to give the IG some time to respond to these matters in details. Honorable Senators, we're going to proceed to the next matter that we want to deliberate and interrogate today. The attack on the Senator for Vihiga County, Senator Geoffrey Osorti, CPS MP, which occurred at the West End Mall in Kisumu County on Wednesday, April 8, 2026. The committee notes with concern an emerging pattern of targeted, politically motivated attacks against various leaders. IG, at this point, I will give you an opportunity to make your opening statement, and then we will proceed. What's your point of order, Senator Osorti?
Chair, I had said earlier that I have a preliminary issue to raise before the IG comes in, and I hope you will give me some time to execute it. The point is that I am the victim, and I thank God that I'm still alive. By now, we would be talking about a by-election in Vihiga. And I think the committee should give me some leeway on this matter. My concern is that this matter, as much as is a security issue, is largely political. And the people who bear political accountability in this ministry is a cabinet secretary and the principal secretary. I think from what I know, Chair, the police led by the DIG and the team, the top officers, will not be the appropriate officers to respond to this matter. And as you know that the cabinet secretary is not here, this is the second time he's missing this meeting. The principal secretary is not here. I would request the committee, if they really want to help me as a senator and the victim, the cabinet secretary should be available, and the principal secretary, because you know the cabinet secretary has given a statement. First of all, I have a problem with that statement. This statement was given in the National Assembly by the principal secretary, Dr. Raymond Omolo, and it was rejected. Just word by word, it has been brought to us, and this time signed by the cabinet secretary. And also, the cabinet secretary has been making inconsistent statement on my matter. The other day, he claimed that this assailant had run out of the country. The information I have, and which is being provided by the people of Kisumu, is that these assailants, some of them are in Kisumu, others have been transported to Nakuru. And in fact, if we want to know the level of impunity over this matter, some of these assailants were in court when the three colleagues were brought in court. They were among the audience in the court, and they were not being arrested. And the police in Kisumu know these people. The public in Kisumu know these people. So the matter here is that I would like the cabinet secretary and the principal secretary to come here so that I can face them head on. And I want to say, we cannot proceed with this matter. Even investigation cannot proceed when the principal suspect has not recorded a statement. And the principal suspect here is the PS for Interior, one Dr. Raymond Omolo. And Senator Ujenda, who just left, wanted to absolve himself. Some of the people who attacked me are also working for Senator Ujenda, and at the same time working for Raymond Omolo. Chair, it will be very sad to subject these senior officers of the police to respond to some of these issues when the real suspects, led by their own boss, are not brought before us. I would like Raymond Omolo to be brought here. I would like Cabinet Secretary for Interior, who is protecting Raymond Omolo, to be brought here. That is the only way I'll get satisfaction. Mr. Chair, it is very unfair that even the ring leader of this group, one boy Akoth, is still at large in Kisumu and even organizing meetings for the Cabinet Secretary Raymond Omolo to attend last Saturday. The PS for Interior, even with this issue at hand, He still went ahead and met the youth, the border. And some of the suspects were in that meeting, Chair. So it is unfair. We'll be going in circles until we bring the principal secretary here, until we bring the cabinet secretary here to respond to my questions, because I have information. The police in Kisumu have shared factual information about this incident, which I'm sad I will not be able to ask the DIG those questions, because this DIG guy, he's a very honest man. But now he's being put in a situation where he has to respond to political questions. So it is just unfair for us to continue with this meeting on my matter, and even to a large extent on the matter of Dulo, because they are connected, they are all political matter, without the cabinet secretary here and without the principal secretary here, and the principal secretary for interior. And I want to say here before the public, he has in fact ignored police. If you go to his office, the people you meet in the corridor are goons. In his vehicle, he walks around with goons. In his chopper, he walks around with goons. So this is a goon principal secretary. And something has to be done about this. I'm talking as a victim, and I'm talking as a person who has knowledge of what is happening. So, Chair, it will be very unfair to continue with this meeting without these two important people who bear political accountability.
Thank you very much, Senator.
All I need is an assurance, all I need from the IG is that we are going back to Kisumu on Sunday. And we want an assurance that the police will protect us in Kisumu on Sunday. That is the only assurance I need. But on my matter, I want the two people to be brought before this committee as soon as possible.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator Osorti.
Chair, maybe just briefly.
I wanted just to address the issues that have been raised by Senator Osorti.
Chair,
and then open the floor.
Don't you want us to
That
give
can
a
I
comment?
finish so that you can? I was going to say I'm going to respond or contribute to what Senator Osorti has said,
But
and then
you are the
open
chair.
the floor to
You
the
are the
other
chair.
senators
Let
so
us-
that we can deliberate on whether or not we should go ahead with this matter, so that we can hear every senator what their sentiments are. Just to inform. Oh, sorry. Can we allow Senator Minority Leader to go on record?
Thank you, Chair. My name is retired Justice Stuart Mazayo. I'm the Minority Leader in the Senate and a friend of the committee.
Honorable Senators, Senator Omtata, please go on record.
Honorable Chair and honorable members, and our distinguished officers from our police. My name is Okiwa Mtatu Koiti. I'm a senator from Busia and a friend of the committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Omtata. Honorable Senators, we have had Senator Osorti, and I had allowed him to ventilate as much as he did because this matter touches on him. And we have to deliberate on whether or not we should proceed with this hearing or adjourn and wait to have the CS and the PS present so that we can address the matter. So I will allow senators who have something to say as a matter of deliberation so that we can guide each other on whether or what steps we should take going forward. Who wants to start? Sifuna.
Chair, I think once that request has come from Senator Osorti, being the person who was attacked in Kisumu, I think as a committee, respect to the officers here, IG Kanja, we reiterate the sort of respect that we have for you. But you can see that this is a matter that is a bit, political, and we wouldn't want to subject you to some of these conversations. For me, Chair, I think you can adjourn that matter for us to be able to have that conversation when the CS and the PS is here.
Senator Mogeni?
Yes, Chair. We don't want to be seen like we are demeaning the authority and the powers of the IG and the officers accompanying him. But, you know, under our constitution, policy issues can only be dealt by the CS Interior. Some of the interventions we may need to recommend as this committee may be policy related. And I want this committee to understand, you know, following up from what Senator Dulo was saying. I remember there is a former member of parliament, I think it's called Sami Leshore, who was shot dead, is on crutches. Shot injured is on crutches, sorry. We have the Mugabe Were, who was shot dead after the 2007 elections. I think we lost Honorable Mushai, shot dead, I think, along Kenyatta Avenue, if I'm not wrong. Just the other day, we had Omondo Were shot dead. All those are former members of parliament, shot when they were serving. I don't know what matter is more serious for CS Murkomen, who is a former colleague, than a threat to the life of a serving senator. So we want him to take this matter seriously, because, gentlemen, you're also going soon to be citizens of this country. Or long after you are gone, long after you have left this world, you leave your children in this world. So we want peace and security. Hello? We want this country to be peaceful, to be secure for all of us. You, us, our children, and all Kenyans. So a matter involving an attack on an armed senator is a serious matter. If the CS cannot come here to address such a matter, then Chair, he is unfit to hold that office. So I agree fully with Senator Osorti that we adjourn this matter. It's better to take a report to the House and tell the House that CS Murkomen does not think a threat to the life of a senator or other Kenyan is not a serious matter. Let it be on record. But we cannot just allow him to take this committee for granted, Chair. So I fully support Senator Osorti that we adjourn this matter, give him a date when he must appear before us. If he doesn't appear before us, we deal with him on the floor of the House. He has been in the Senate, he's our former colleague, he knows it. So in short, I support that we adjourn.
Any other senator? Senator Chute?
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, the reason why I'm here today is there is a statement before this committee that I read on the 3rd of October 2023, and then the latest one 2 weeks ago. This is in regards to border dispute and also conflict between the county of Wajir and county of Marsabit. There is something very serious going on there. But let me now talk about the issues raised by Senator Osorti. In fact, when I heard Dulo talking about security situation, I'm really saddened that no action has been taken up to today. And Honorable Chair, I want to agree with Senator Osorti that the CS should come here before this committee and answer the question of Senator Dulo and Senator Osorti. This is a very, very serious matter. And when the whole senator from Isiolo is complaining about her own security, and the CS is not here today to answer those questions, I think we have a problem. And I will definitely ask you, Chair, to adjourn this meeting, and we have the CS come before the committee. But please don't even forget my issues. I want to raise my issues Because we have the IG here today, if you can answer those questions. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Chair, I'm not shy to say that I'm a broad-baser. I've been broad-based, but there are matters that when they affect our country, they are very serious issues. And I'm saying this because I wanted to put a voice into this. I'm seeing this into two perspectives. Number one, Chair, what happened to Senator Osorti must be condemned in the strongest term possible, not only because it happened to him as an individual, but also because it shows a serious porosity in our security infrastructure if an elected member of parliament can be attacked in the manner in which Senator Osorti was attacked. Chair, to the request that he has placed based on that attack, constitutionally, it's a matter of accountability. Who do we hold accountable and who takes responsibility for this? The Constitution calls us in two ways. Number one, which you can choose, Chair, to sit with, is Article 245 of the Constitution. Our Constitution did look at the possibility of establishing independent institutions, which under Article 245 of the Constitution, the police is independent. And therefore, you can treat it as such if a matter of security. But to the best of my understanding, these committees will subject this issue to Article 153. Because Article 153 on decisions, responsibility, and accountability of a cabinet secretary, it says under 153(2) that a cabinet secretary shall attend before a committee of the National Assembly or the Senate when required by the committee and answer any question concerning a matter for which the cabinet secretary is responsible for. And this matter is a matter of security to a politically elected leader. So if we were going with Article 245, it would be right to have the IG and the team respond to this. But given the magnitude of this issue, I think it will be fair to subject it to Article 153 of the Constitution and have the cabinet secretary, not even the principal secretary. It is the cabinet secretary who would be liable to respond to this issue. I rest my case, Chair, just my piece of advice.
Thank you, Senator. Yes, Senator Stuart Mazayo.
Asante mwenyekiti. Kwanza nataka kuungana na maseneta wenzangu ambao wameweza kueleza kiwazi ni kwa nini pengine hatumhitaji mkuu wa polisi na mwenzake pale mpaka waziri wa usalama mwenyewe awe hapa. Bwana mwenyekiti, kumekuwa na mshtuko sana ndani ya bunge, na sababu iliyoletwa hapo ni kwa sababu imekuwa kama mtindo sasa. Wale maseneta, nikiongea kama kiongozi ndani ya bunge la Senate, wameweza kuleta hoja zao za kuhofia maisha yao. Ya kwanza, bwana mwenyekiti, ni dada yangu Fatma Dulo, seneta wa Isiolo, alileta hilo swala ndani ya bunge la Senate na kusema kwamba maisha yake pia yako hatarini, mpaka ikabidi speaker aseme aongezwe wale ambao watamlinda. Jambo kama hili la kuweza kutishia mbunge ama anayetetea wananchi nje akiwa ndani ya bunge la Senate ni la kusikitisha, hususan wale ambao wanaongea ndani ya bunge, alafu baada ya hapo inakuwa vihoja wakiwa wameenda huko kwao. Ni jambo la kusikitisha kuweza kutishia mama ambaye ni representative, yeye ni senator ndani ya bunge la Senate, kuweza kutishiwa maisha yake. Kwa hiyo hicho ni kitendo ambacho sisi sote tunakikemea vilivyo. Cha pili ni kwamba haijapita hata miezi kama mitatu minne baada ya Dulo, baada ya dadangu Fatma Dulo kusema ya kwamba maisha yake kwenye hatari, tumeona kitendo kimetendeka sasa cha kuweza kumuumiza seneta wa Vihiga Osorti, na sababu zilizofanya yeye kupigwa na majambazi bado hatujaweza kuzifahamu ni nini, lakini tunajua katika Kenya kuna demokrasia na kila mtu ana haki ya kuongea bila anavyotaka, haki ya kujihusisha na mtu anayetaka, na jambo lililotendeka hapo ni jambo la kusikitisha. Na kufikiria hivi sasa wale waliotenda hicho kitendo walionekana kwa CCTV. Na jambo la kusikitisha zaidi ni kwamba nyinyi kama walinzi wa sisi kama wananchi bado hakujashikwa mtu ama kuweza kuulizwa maswali watu fulani fulani na fulani. Tunasikia tu kuna watu wanahojiwa, wanafanya nini, washikwa, wanahojiwa alafu wanawachiliwa. Ni jambo la kusikitisha ikiwa kiongozi ambaye amechaguliwa na watu kutoka Vihiga, Osorti na dadangu Fatma Dulo wataweza kupoteza maisha yao. Sisi tutawashika nyinyi na yule katibu wa kudumu kwamba hao ndio wako responsible na jambo lolote litakalotendeka katika kuhusikana na maisha yao na utendakazi wao ndani ya bunge la Senate. Kwa hiyo mimi nataka kusema kwamba nataka mjadala kama huu uweze kuahirishwa mpaka wale mabwana wafike hapa mbele ya hii kamati. Asante.
Asante Senator Mazayo. Honorable Senators, I think the majority view is that we adjourn the matter of Senator Osorti and address the matter once we have the Cabinet Secretary and the Permanent Secretary appearing before the committee. Regardless of the fact that the office of the Inspector General of Police is an independent institution and can appear before any committee established by Parliament. So I will take the view of the majority and postpone or defer the matter of Osorti until we have the presence of the Cabinet Secretary, the Permanent Secretary, and the IG together. Having said that, we are going to proceed to the other matter on the on the agenda. Yes, Senator Osorti.
Thank you very much for that decision. But just before I go, because I have another meeting, can the IG respond to my concern about Sunday? Because I, Senator Sifuna here, and a team of leaders, we will be having a peaceful rally in Kisumu. So we just wonder, and given that these goons have been released from prison and the others are still at large, can the IG give us an assurance the police are going to give us protection on Sunday?
Senator Osorti, I am advised that your request is better put in writing to the IG.
What do you mean? The IG is here. They are here.
No, I think procedurally, let's officially communicate that it's going to happen, and then.
Chair,
Chairman, with great respect, what is so hard, for the IG to assure the country that we remain a democracy, that Kenyans have a right to peacefully assemble and do rallies, and that their office will continue to protect Kenyans as they enjoy those democratic rights. Chairman, we have one country. Me, I have no any other country to run to other than this one. We want this country to continue being peaceful, being democratic. And the only way that guarantee can happen is when the office of the IG is there to protect those who are in government and those who are in opposition. Because that's the structure of our democracy. So I don't think there is anything unprocedural for him to make that guarantee before the people's representatives. We don't need to do a letter. Now that he's here, let him undertake that the police are committed to ensure that there is peace, law, and order in all our political gatherings.
Chair, I just want to reinforce what Senator Morgan is saying. The IG of police is here, and as one of the leaders in the Linda Mwananchi team, the IG can also confirm that we always comply with the law. We have issued notices to the police for all our meetings. And in fact, Honorable Chair, I want to confirm here that we were very grateful for the police protection in Busia. We had no problems. In fact, they escorted us into Busia. We had no issues in Nakuru just last weekend. We had an incident in Kakamega, which the IG has assured us that is being investigated. We went to Mombasa. The police were very cooperative. We wrote to the relevant police stations, and they provided security for us. I saw them there myself, and we had no problems. So there is no issue, because the reason why Osorti is saying this is the backdrop of what happened to him in Kisumu. And IG, I'm sure you have seen some of the pronouncements from some of the leaders, not necessarily from Kisumu, but from outside, elected leaders, saying, oh, certain people are undesirable in Kisumu. What Osorti just wants is an assurance that having complied with law, being law-abiding citizens, we just go there and say whatever it is we want to say within the bounds of the law, and we leave. We have no problem with anyone. But since he's here, I don't think it is too much to ask for him to give that assurance, especially in light of what happened to Senator Osorti, who's the one making that request. For me personally, I know the people of Kisumu. I know the people of Kisumu are peaceful people. They have helped the police in terms of investigations, and even the investigating officers in this particular case. I have to disclose the IG. They've been very cooperative. They came all the way from Kisumu to take statements from Senator Osorti. So it is not too much to ask, and I'm sure the IG has already given certain assurances in respect of Senator Dulo's case. We want to hear that assurance from him as well. There's nothing wrong with that.
Thank you, Senator Mtata.
Yes, Chair. Thank you. I just wanted to underscore the fact that Senator Osorti's request has to be contextualized as an extraordinary situation, as a person. So maybe we could waive any requirement for any formal communication and get the assurance of the IG, which is also good for the public to know that Kisumu is part of Kenya, and any Kenyan can go and transact their business there within the bounds of the law. So I would just request that we get that assurance from the IG that you are going to, it is safe for whoever is going to Kisumu to contact Israel, and this country is not zoned. But there are zones for this, or zones for that, or zones for the other. So that when the Linda Mwananchi group goes to Kisumu, we are sure that the Kisumu is secure. And even to be like it will also be a deterrent when people might be having some funny ideas, that the IG himself has focused, the entire police force has focused its attention to this place, so that it may deter anybody who might have some ulterior motives to come and maybe cause confusion. So that's why I would support that maybe you just can, if there's a requirement for writing, you could just suspend it for today and just attend to this issue that is coming up right now, so that you can be assured with that. And also, as I finish, while I'm on it, I've got a major problem in Busia, which also is like not touching an individual, but it's touching public assets. We have got public assets whereby the National Irrigation Board.
I just want to raise it. We will come back to that, because we have to.
I'm running for another meeting. Just wanted to.
If you could just allow us to finish with the issue of the assurances for the meeting in Kisumu, and then we start tackling the other issues. Senator Dulo.
Chair, I agree with the request made by Senator Osorti, because it's within his right. Number two, I think it's good also to follow the law and also not speak from two sides of the mouth, because some few minutes ago we insisted on the letter from CS. So it is equally important for the purpose of accountability on the side of police, if anything happens. that communication is important to say that we are here and the police is aware. Yeah. So Senator Sifuna has confirmed he has written. So I think that is in order. Thank you.
Very well. IG, maybe if you could address that matter.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair and Honorable members of this very, very important committee of Senate. Let me first of all start by saying what happened to Senator Osorti is not right. Very, very unfortunate. And I want to assure him and the people he represents and the people of Kenya that at the end of the day, everyone who committed an offense there will have his time to stand before a court. I want also to mention the issues of guns and guns. Honorable Chair and Honorable members, this issue of guns and guns is going to stop. It is going to stop. Because these goons, and we have investigated. I don't want to state here because that's my work to do. We have clearly investigated. We have seen where they come from, who funds, who does what, who is the grassroots organizer, and so forth and so on. I want to assure you, Chair, and honorable members, this issue of guns and guns is going to stop. We are serious on that. Number 3 is for the meeting in Kisumu. The meeting, I want to assure that the meeting will be fully secured. But I also equally request from the organizers that let us follow the law. Look at Article 37 of our Constitution. So that even the organizers have got a responsibility to ensure that there is also peace in that. So we work together and everything will be okay. But from where I sit, I want to assure you that your meeting will be safe and secure. Those who want to attend, they are free to attend. That is the position of the National Police Service, and that is our responsibility.
Thank you, Honour IG. Thank you very much for that assurance. Honourable Senators, let's now proceed to tackle other matters, and I'm sure most of you Senators have issues that you want to raise before the IG. Let us tackle the issue of the gazettement of the Capitol Hill Police Station. I think this matter was raised by the Senator of Nairobi. IG, the committee has taken cognizance of the reported the gazettement of the Capitol Hill Police Station and the proposed development in the area. In this regard, the committee requests that you furnish them with any information that you may have as a statement to kick off this meeting. So I will allow you, IG, to make your statement, and then we'll interrogate the matter.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair.
Proceed, IG.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair and honorable members. This is the submission by the Inspector General to the Departmental Committee on the National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations on the current status of all police stations within Nairobi County, including the gazettement of Capitol Hill Police Station.
Point of order, Chair.
Yes.
Yeah, I was requesting, Chair, because the response is quite lengthy.
If you can,
you could go straight to page 17 of your response on the gazettement of Capitol Hill Police Station and skip the status of the others, just in the interest of time, Chair.
Yeah. Yes, IG, please, if you could just do as the senators guided because of time so that we can also have time to interrogate the matter.
Thank you, Chair. Well obliged. The degazettement of the Capitol Hill Police Station and transfer of LL number 209 stroke 10531 to the designated entities. 4.1 is the status. I state as follows, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members, that Capitol Hill Police Station was gazetted way back in 2011 by the Kenya Gazette Notice number 3946 of 24th March 2011. Adaladi parcel number LL209 stroke 10531. Measuring approximately of National Treasury as trustee for the National Police Service. 4.2. The chronological sequence of events leading to the degazettement of Capitol Hill Police Station. Number 1, National Administration informed my office of the Cabinet approval authorizing the transfer of the subject parcel of land to 3 entities as follows. Number 1 is Africa Trade Insurance Agency. Number 2 is the financial sector regulators. And number 3, St. John's Ambulance, Kenya. The communication further informed me to initiate the necessary process for the degazettement of the Capitol Hill Police Station and facilitate the transfer of the RAD to the designated institutions. Honorable Chair and Honorable Members, in compliance with the communication, I sought the legal advisory from the Honorable Attorney General, filed my letter reference the NPS to IG stroke SECPOL 2 stroke 3 stroke 1 volume in short LV into bracket 36 dated 15th July 2025 regarding the proposed degazettement. The Attorney General filed her letter reference AG stroke CIV stroke MSL stroke 313 stroke 25 dated 11th August 2025 provided a preliminary legal opinion outlining the background, applicable legal considerations and requisite safeguards to guide the process. Pursuant to the foregoing, and guided by the legal advisory issued by the Principal State Counsel, that's the Honorable Attorney General, I declare the said parcel of land redundant for police use and would like to assure the committee that there will be no gap in the provision of policing services in the area, which will now be provided by Kilimani Police Station, Kenyatta Hostel Police Post, Golf Course Police Post, and Kemri Patrol Base. All these are other Kilimani Police Station. So the area is fully taken care of with matters policy. Consequently, I communicated the matter to the Deputy Inspector General, Kenya Police Service, filed my letter NPS IG stroke SECPOL 2 stroke 3 stroke 1 volume in short LV1 that's 7 dated 1st April 2026, informing him to immediately initiate a structured handing over process of the station, including the transfer and proper documentation of all police records, relocation of all administrative and operations operational functions and the redeployment of the officers to facilitate the planned degazettement of Capitol Hill Police Station, and subsequently surrender the title deed to enable the transfer of the land to aforementioned entities. In view of the above, this is my submission to the Honorable Committee regarding the actions undertaken by the National Police Service in compliance with the Cabinet approval. I submit.
Thank you, IG. Senator Sifuna.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. First of all, it is a very concerning, IG, that this is public property. You have confirmed in your response there that the title was held by the PS State Department of National Treasury as trustee for the National Police Service. What I want to understand, Chair, and maybe the Secretariat can confirm. Number one, who is this Africa Trade Insurance Agency? Is it a public body or a private entity? Same as financial sector regulators and St. John Ambulance Kenya. And because you have said that the transfer of the subject parcel is to these three entities, can you confirm whether the land is being subdivided or it's being owned jointly, and the specifics of that? Number two, IG, you have referenced some documents here, and I was very specific to the clerk that in your response you must attach this documentation, the correspondence. So can we confirm, clerk, whether the communication from the PS State Department of Internal Security dated 20th June 2025 has been provided to the committee? Number two, whether the letter seeking legal advice from the Honorable Attorney General dated 15th July 2025 regarding the proposed degazettement has been provided to the committee. And thirdly, Honorable Speaker, and this is the greatest concern, the legal opinion itself from the AG, and the problem we have, IG, is that before you declared that said parcel of land redundant for police use, we want confirmation from your office whether there was stakeholder involvement, because this complaint originated from the business people in Upper Hill themselves, who consider that Upper Hill Police Station is extremely crucial to the security situation in the area for the sake of their businesses. So we want to know whether public participation was done, including stakeholder involvement, or you just all you did was to seek clarification or a legal opinion from the AG and then proceeded to do that. Those would be my questions for now, Honorable Speaker. Chair.
IG. Can we have the IG address the issues raised by Sifuna first? Proceed, IG. And IG, also, if you have any documents to table regarding this matter, this will probably be the right time to table those documents.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members. The issues raised by the Honorable Senator Sifuna, number one, I have all the letters with me here, so we are going to table them here.
Yes, table the documents.
We are going to ensure that he gets the letters here.
Yeah. Do you have copies of the documents that you want to table?
Do you have copies? This is the one. So we're going to have one. So, Honorable Chair, we only have one set here.
Chairman, we can the documents can be tabled. We get copies so that we can do follow-up questions.
Okay. In the as we are waiting for the documents to be
Let them
circulated. Can the IG proceed with
but let him table the documents so that you can direct the be photocopied for us, so that we can make reference.
Clerk, let the IG table the documents and then proceed.
Chair, Senator Sifuna has asked for 5 documents, three documents. I don't know, IG, whether you have the 3 documents.
The 3 letters.
The 3 letters. So
every letter quoted.
If you don't have, then we can. You have them. No, he's saying he has one.
No, he hasn't said. He has a single copy of it. He has a single copy of it.
IG,
to confirm from him.
What documents are you tabling? If you can just the heading.
Honorable Chair and honorable members, I'm being advised that what we need, you need to give us some time so that we can be able to supply them in a good order, the way they are appearing in my letter. So I hope if that is around.
So you're not tabling any documents?
No,
you are not tabling any documents?
Not now, but I'm going to table later to the clerk.
Okay, very well.
But I hope you have gotten the letters requested by the senator. So how much time do you need?
Yeah, I've gotten.
How much time do you need?
Got 3.
How much time do you need? IG.
As I go back to the office, then.
Today, tomorrow, the day after?
1 week.
Give us a definite.
No, give me
7 days.
Give me 7 days. 7 days.
7 days.
7 days.
7 days. Very well. Proceed to answer the question.
Chairman, I wanted your guidance. That is in order. But since he has the letters, he can read them to us. Then we engage and finalize this meeting today. Copies I understand, but he has the letters. Let him read to us the contents of those letters.
Okay, let's first allow the IG to respond to the questions raised by Senator Sifuna. IG.
Honorable Chair, thank you very much. So I would request, as we have agreed, that get the time to do the documents for the.
Yes, you've been provided with 7 days.
Yes, within 7 days.
Within 7 days.
Of course, the letters have got other confidential information that I would wish that we.
This is the Senate, there is no issue of it is going to be within the Senate, isn't it?
No, I think since we have given IG 7 days for his comfort and our comfort, members I would request to give him the 7 days, let him put his documents together. Please.
Then, Chair, let us adjourn. Let them forward the documents to us. We interrogate the matter when we have the documents.
No problem.
Yeah.
No problem.
Because, you see, we are the people's representative. We have been asked a question by Senator of Nairobi. We need to prepare a report to the floor. So if he wants time to forward the document, let us adjourn, we give him time, he makes copies, sends to us, then we can interrogate the matter when we have all the documents before us.
Chair.
Yes, Senator Sifuna.
IG, we were doing very well. I don't know what has changed. We were doing very well. The letters are here. You just need to table it. And the clerk was already ready to receive. This committee is a committee of security. We understand. We have been through these things before. If you want us to see things in camera, we can kick these guys out. But we need answers for the people. And IG, when it comes to matters of public property, there really is no secret there. There is no secret. It was a police station. It's now going to be no longer a security installation. We just need answers for the people of Nairobi. We were doing so well, Chair. I don't even know where this issue of 7 days came from. The documents are here.
I agree with you. We were doing so well. I don't know what happened along the way. I think Senator Mogeni brought a little bit of confusion. So let us, for purposes of neatness and tidiness, we have agreed to give him the IG 7 days to prepare the documents requested by you, Senator Sifuna. And since he cannot table them now, we give him 7 days to table those documents, and then we interrogate this matter once we are all furnished with the documents. I think that is probably the most tidy way to go about it. Otherwise, we'll just be confusing each other the way we are confusing each other now.
So is it your direction that we adjourn this matter?
We adjourn this matter and address it once we have the documents, all the letters
Before you
have been...
adjourn,
Yes, Senator Omtata.
This matter touches me personally because my private office is on Taj Tower, which is next to the police station. So, in fact, when the commotion began, even the police officers were just ambushed. Some of them came to my office to say, what is going on? And the community, the Upper Hill community, in fact, I'm trying to advise them to approach you as the Senator of Nairobi to come and raise the issue in the Senate. I felt I was conflicted because I'm right there. And I'm telling you this idea that the patrol post in Kenyatta or whatever can serve us, it cannot. The day Kibet Boy was abducted from my office, I literally ran to that police station to make a report. It's next door. Imagine if I had to go to Kenyatta, or to Kilimani, or to Kipira. And the police post may not have the services that a police station has. So the idea that that police station can just be casually closed and removed is an issue that is anathema to some of us. So what is being disclosed here is disregard for the people you represent, who includes me in this matter. And so I think this matter should be given the seriousness it deserves. And if possible, I would request this committee to intact any transfer of that title deed to these entities. To issue a resolution that until this matter is resolved here, there should be no transfer of that title deed. I don't know if the committee has got the capacity to do that. I don't know, but that must be done. Because this is a very, very important matter. And if you look at the kind of establishments, the kind of properties in that area, very high area, it cannot sit without a police station. They cannot sit without the services of security. So we are very, very worried as people of that area.
Senator Omtata, I think we've agreed we are going to handle this matter once all the documents have been furnished to the committee. So let's give that opportunity, and then we can interrogate it even further. Because we can't do it halfway. We have to have the information in detail and in writing for purposes of the committee.
The danger that the Senator of Busia is raising is that by the time those 7 days are over,
the insecurity
matters might have escalated to the fact that to the extent that the title is gone. What preservation orders can you issue so that we stall this process? Because we need to understand, as he has rightly said, who these people are and why we are transferring public property to private entities.
I think, members, we can internally look at the status of the property.
Yeah.
And then once the documents are served with us, we can actually answer those questions and see how we can be able now to take action on whatever you have said. If that is okay.
Senator of Nairobi. Senator of Nairobi, sorry, Dulo, you can...
we should request also your appearance. Immediately you have submitted your documents so that we can fast track the conversation.
As we deliberate, Senator of Nairobi, I think as per the submission by the IG and the title holder of the police station, I think I remember him saying that it's held by Treasury. But it's held in trust by Treasury. So should we also request that when we are interrogating this matter that the PS Treasury also appears so that he can also answer to some of the questions?
The best person, Honorable Chair, because the PS for Treasury was just a trustee for the National Police Service. And the response from the IG is that they were implementing a cabinet resolution. The best person would be the principal cabinet secretary, the PCS, the Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, to be able to advise us how cabinet resolved to. Yes, this is the Principal Secretary, State Department for Internal Security and National Administration, by the letter dated 20th June, informed my office of a cabinet approval authorizing the transfer of subject parcel of land to Africa Trade Insurance Agency. So the best person here to explain the cabinet resolution would be the PCS.
PCS. And also the Attorney General provided a legal basis on this matter. Will it be prudent also to have the Attorney General explain the legal rationale behind the transfer?
That's why we wanted those documents first, Chair, so that we can know who we need to speak to for what.
Very well. I will be giving a ruling on this.
It's need to preserve this land. If you are with the power to do it, I would request you do it. Because it will be futile to come here when the land has already been transferred to these entities. I shall be pounding water in a mortar.
Very well, Honorable Senators, I've heard you, and we need to proceed because of time. I'll be making a ruling, Chair, on that matter.
Maybe we need to invite PCS
Okay.
and Attorney General to our meeting once the documents are with us.
Very well.
Yeah.
We shall be making a detailed ruling on that.
Yeah, Chair, maybe what we do, now that we have had presentation from Mutata, as soon as we release them, we can remain behind for a few minutes and see whether we can do some preliminary report on the issue of preservation of the property for the adoption of the house.
Very well. Thank you, Senator Mugeni. Honorable Senators, we're going to go to the last item on the agenda, which is any other business. But before I open up the floor for any other business, I want to inform the committee that we have received a letter from the Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Interior and National Administration. And he notifies the committee that the scheduled appearance before the Senate National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations Committee coincides with the Cabinet Committee at which my attendance is required. In view of this unavoidable scheduling conflict, I have nominated the Principal Administration Secretary for Internal Security to represent the Ministry of the at the Senate session. The Principal Administrative Secretary will be accompanied by the IG and Director of Criminal Investigation, who are well seized of the matter under consideration. I'll provide the necessary briefs and clarifications to the committee. And he has attached the response to questions before the committee. Senators, we finished. But according to his apology, he has nominated the Principal Secretary. And I think we have discussed here that we wanted both the CS and the Permanent Secretary. So I think that is, the Secretariat wanted me to read to the committee because we have discussed and deliberated this matter and resolved that we will have both the CS and the PS. But given the circumstances, if we do receive such a letter as a committee, do we abide by it, agree to it, or we still insist that the CS and the PS have to appear with the IG?
You know the Constitution knows the CS.
It's for this matter.
Yeah. Chair, the Constitution in black and white talks of Cabinet Secretary can appear before any committee of the Senate or National Assembly. So I think on this one, we should not belabor. We have made a decision that we need the CS and the PS to appear because of the gravity of the matter at hand. And I propose that we stick with that position and require him to appear. If you read the Constitution, it's only the Cabinet Secretary who can initiate some policy changes touching on the functions of police or any other security agency. That's why we need him to appear in person.
Very well. Any other business? Senator Judy.
Sorry to take you back. The second part of my statement that has not been responded to by IG and DCI on the man who disappeared from Isiolo for 6 months. He came back and he said, I'm the one who used government security agencies to abduct him. This man is relative of the governor for Isiolo. I have reported, I've written a statement. I'm being told the file is being actually forwarded to DPP. And I hope, because this also links us to the insecurity issue that I'm talking about against me. And I hope it's not a shell file. It's a file with facts and evidences, because the person who claims to have been abducted, he has also background in security issues, as far as I'm concerned. I'll stop at that.
Chair, let me, I mentioned my statement, which the first one was on 3rd October 2023, and the other one is about 2-3 weeks ago. And I don't want to blame the committee, but that statement, Chair, that statement both statements touches on the issues we had. There is an issue between Wajir County and Marsabit County. And if you can remember, I think 2 days ago, the CS, I wanted you to listen if possible. The CS Interior came before National Assembly. And I wanted, because the IG is here now, if I can ask 2 or 3 questions in that regard, instead of asking him to come back again, if you allow.
Chute, proceed, ask the questions, but be brief and precise.
Very specific. Yes, very specific. First of all, Chair, when the CS came before the committee of security at the National Assembly, that issue, the issue was raised by a member of parliament, who is Professor Guyo, and he raised this issue. We know our borders, administrative borders. There is Wajir, very clearly marked, and Marsabit County. The CS then said he has done some small investigation and he has found that the area, there is an RDU camp being built in Marsabit County, funded by CDF from Wajir. So when he was asked, he said he thinks that place, or the investigation shows that that place is in Wajir. Chair, if you go to the border today, Moyale border, if you cross that border and you put the pin, and you send that pin to anybody, they will know that you are in Moyale, but Ethiopia side. So I want to make something very clear today. That area is Marsabit County. So the question I want to ask the IG, we met with the AIG some time back on this issue, and he promised us the construction is going to be stopped. First, I want to know if it has been stopped, and we requested the security officers to be deployed. We don't have any objection. RDU come to be built, constructed in Marsabit County, we will really support it, but not using money from other counties. So my question is, if there has been deployed, that's the thing I wanted to know. Number 2, I want the IG to note, when the security officers from Sololo went to the site, a gentleman called Arab Abdile Abdi threatened the security officers there, and he particularly mentioned the name of the assistant chief from Botot area called Did Jirmo Kalkalo. I want the IG, please take note that if anything happens, the blame should go to that particular person, Arab Abdile Abdi. If you can, if my request would be, please take a statement from this guy, because we don't want conflict between the two communities. Finally, Pana AG, You earlier mentioned that Marsabit is very peaceful, and that is during your time as a GSU in charge. And I want to thank you for that. You've done a very good job. But unfortunately, of late, the problem we are having is from the police officers. Abductions. They have abducted more than 15 young boys from Sorolo and Moyale area. Never been found. One was killed. We reported that matter. And up to today, nobody has been arrested. So I want you to respond on that one.
Thank you.
And one more, please. In fact, two. Banaiji, we have a market in Merile. We buried a young man yesterday who is a livestock trader. He was brutally killed in Merile. I know you're doing a very good job. Please, I want two things. Number one, a very quick, thorough investigation. Number two, please kindly, we have a GSU personnel there. We have administration police and police in Lesamis. When there is market day, please deploy enough officers so that our business people, young, energetic people, can easily go and buy and bring their nini.
Thank you, Senator.
Only one final, please. Chair. The final one is between Banaiji, between Moyale and Isiolo, we have 17 police barriers. And we really support you on the issue of drug. We have problems, infiltration of drug from Ethiopia side. And we will support you with that. But all these barriers are like toll stations. Please, if you can have a highway patrol, instead of having barriers all the way, you can have a highway patrol between, let's say, Isiolo, Merile, Marsabit, Turbi, and Moyale will be easier for you. Because people know, criminals know, the barrier is there, they will avoid it. But innocent people are suffering. So please, if you can tell us how you are going to help us, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator Chute. Senator Mogeni, any other business?
Yeah, just very quickly, I want to write on the appearance of the IG. In 2020, residents of a place called Tindereti in Borabu, Nyansiongo, Borabu constituency, Nyamira, donated a title deed, transferred it to the police to facilitate construction of a police station. That was way back in 2020. Through the commandant, I think she was a lady then, who is, I think she's now serving in the headquarters, yes.
Could I kindly know what is the status, whether you have done any budgetary allocation to build that police station? Because the community gave you a title deed so that you can deal with issues of insecurity, cattle rustling within that agriculturally productive ward called Nyansiongo. Please.
Thank you. These are too many questions.
No.
It's here the whole afternoon.
This is for people, Chairman. Security issues are sensitive. Kindly proceed. Just on a follow-up to the question that has been asked. I don't know that this affects you. These are concerns we get from the people we serve. I think those are the people that the president leads, we serve. Those are the people you want to ensure that they do their business in a comfortable manner. There is complaint here that the number of roadblocks from Nairobi all the way past Mayu, Narok, Bomet to Kisii are so many. People applying that route complain. I don't know whether there is a policy, whether you should have one roadblock in a county. There are so many. Somebody was telling me there are over 14. So is there a way, we want to have a country where citizens are happy, where citizens are happy. In Bhutan state now, it is measuring the happiness of the people. If people are doing business, they need to feel happy. And we know you also need to secure a country, ensure that we don't allow terrorists to move freely, but it should be a delicate balance. Is it possible you tell us what you think is ideal number of roadblocks
from here to Kisii. Those are, I think, 3 counties: Narok, Bomet, then you get into Nyamira. Please.
Thank you, Senator. Senator
Don't forget about the young man who was in Garissa also.
I will raise that issue.
Yes, I just want to use the opportunity that the police command is here. There's an issue of public property being destroyed in Busia. And when you go to the police, they just flail their hands that it looks like it's the property belongs to the National Irrigation Board. That the big pipes, very big pipes, which are about more than a meter in width, you can stand inside them. This irrigation scheme is being vandalized, and the pipes are being taken to Uganda. And they've vandalized about 5 kilometers of the pipes have gone and being done. And that's, I think, a lot of government property is being destroyed. The only police post there has 2 constables, not even an inspector. They have no capacity. They say they have no capacity to deal with these people who come at night. And these are huge pipes. They even come with welding machines to cut them. They dig them out of the ground, they cut them, but there's no action from the local police. And why the police are unable to stop that destruction of government property in that place. If that can be addressed, I'd be very grateful. The other issue is that even a police like Busia Police Station, Land Cruiser, whatever, they don't have. So there was a police, like my own police station in Amkura, when they split the sub-county, Teso South was split into Teso Central. All the equipment were taken to Teso South, where Dempi comes from, Mary Mas, and now me where I come from, Teso Central. Our police if you go to the office of the police, they're just bare, they have nothing there. So even if you have got an emergency, they have no capacity to respond. So I'd pray that if you can, look into those issues. And most urgent is that property. Let us save that investment because it's supposed to do an irrigation scheme in the area. But the pipes are being dug up and they look like very expensive pipes, but are very huge. I'd pray that you take the decisive action. And then there's a police, I don't know how you can call it, it was constructed about 2 kilometers from my house, from my home. The buildings are there, but there are no officers. So we don't know whether we would call it a police station if there are no officers. Or I don't know how to call that thing. In Amkura, this under Kwangamor, this is the location is called Kwangamor. Kwangamor, that's my village. White Rocks. So that thing was built, and it's just there. So I don't know why it has been a problem to deploy officers to that place. That's all, Chair.
Thank you, Senator Mtata. And maybe I should also take this opportunity because IG, you have appeared before the committee. I'm sure you're aware that there was a shooting that took place in Garissa where a young man, 24 years old, taxi driver, who was arrested, detained, handcuffed, and then shot by, I think he's an officer at the Criminal Investigation Department. Is it DCI or CID? I don't know if you still use CID. He's a driver at the DCI Garissa who has been at large and on the run. I just want to know if there's any progress in ascertaining where the individual is, if he's been arrested and a statement taken from him. Just as an update, because it's been 48 hours since the incident. Because now rumors are milling that he's probably being assisted by police officers to run. We don't want such rumors to continue. And also, on the same matter, as raised by Senator Chute and Senator Mugeni, the issue of checkpoints and police roadblocks. Where this incident happened was along the Modika Barak Junction corridor in Garissa. I am informed that it's a stretch of 3 kilometers, and sometimes there are as many as 15 roadblocks. I don't know how true this is. And these checkpoints or roadblocks There's also a lot of accusation that a lot of harassment takes place and extortion takes place on these checkpoints or roadblocks. If you could please also inform this committee if there's actually a policy in place in terms of number of roadblocks that can be within a county, on a road, and what does the policy state? IG, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chair and honorable members. The questions that have been raised by the members here and the honorable senators, they are very valid and very, very important questions that actually affects our day-to-day life as a people. So I believe that they need to be given, the highest responsibility in terms of ensuring that whatever is raised here is put into consideration and the best processes put on to ensure that there is a good balance between everything, because on one part there is security, on the other part we have our freedoms that we must also protect. Chair, honorable members, one of our responsibility of a police officer is the protection and the defense of the rights and freedoms of the people by following the regular processes, procedures by the Police Act, and even by the Constitution and the law. So on the matters, I start with what the Chair said. On the matters of Garissa's recent killing, number one, I must say that that was a very, very unfortunate case. Very unfortunate case. And our officers are well guided to always operate within the frameworks of the law, because the law is our defender. And for that reason, when that happened, we called on board immediately the Independent Policing Oversight Authority to take over that kind of investigation and quickly come up with a report. And we, on our part, we are supportive of that process. So we are yet to arrest the young driver, that man, but I want to assure you, Chair, and this committee that it's just a matter of time before we get him. And we are going to get him, and if it is proved that he went against the law, then he will have his time in the or before the court of law to answer to those very serious offense. On the matter of checkpoint, because this is an area that have also been raised by several of members. On matters roadblock, Section 69A of the Traffic Act states very, very clearly that the Inspector General of Police may, by a notice in the Gazette, designate a place along the road on which police roadblock may be mounted. However, having said that, we also have the counties the way they are right now. Security issues do arise. So the county commanders can also be able to lay ad hoc, roadblocks or checkpoints, so that they can be able to interdict given, offenses that have been committed or they are about to be committed. So again, it's a delicate balance. But the truth of the matter is that the Inspector General gazettes those areas that need to have the checkpoints and the roadblocks. However, I myself, together with these commanders here and the DCI, we are also concerned with the number of the roadblocks and checkpoints that are to be found in a small stretch. For example, from Mombasa to Nairobi, I think we have got around 14 of them. So really, we are looking at that, we ourselves, at our level, to see to it that we only detain what is really very, very necessary, because the county commanders at the same time, they can be able to lay the ad hoc roadblocks if a report is made from another area or a different county that there is an offense that is being committed along a given route, say Mombasa, Nairobi, Busia, or say Nairobi, Garissa, and so forth and so forth. They can still be able to lay those roadblocks, ensure that whatever kind of arrest or checking have been checked, and then once that is done, then we don't need the roadblock to be there. So this is an area that we ourselves we are addressing. On Friday last week, was this last week? We had a meeting there at the National Police Leadership Academy on Tuesday this week, whereby I had summoned all the county commanders, the regional commanders, and then we met even with the PS, East Africa, State Department for East African Community. We addressed the same issue, and it is true. For example, between Bomet and Narok, there are too many. But at the same time, remember there are those others that are led by the county government for their own operations here. So it's a tricky area because ours are primarily for security reasons, but for the county government, the forces and others is allowed by the law. But from where we sit, we are ourselves. You can see the steps that we have taken, even having that meeting together with the PS East African, State Department for East Africa, to also advise us on the net effect of all these kind of roadblocks. So, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members, that is an area that we ourselves, as the responsible people for security, we are also looking into with a view to reducing what probably could be really unnecessary on our roads. For the Busia police station and many other police stations, the issues of motor transport is a big problem. However, I want to assure you, honorable members, that the government is doing everything possible, and with your support, I am sure each and every police stations within the Republic of Kenya, whereby I say that we have got 1,300, and we have got also the formed up units, the camps, and many others that are used to provide security in Kenya. We need adequate transport, and the government is actually moving in that speed, and we want to appreciate our president himself, our CS actually. They are dead serious on the provision of transport to the security sector, because that is one way of even dealing with these goons and gangs, by ensuring that enabling the police to be able to move fast. So very soon you are going to see many motor vehicles on our roads, marked police, including from the area, and will also be there, honorable member. So it's an area that we are very much concerned, but at the same time, as my DIG is saying, whatever we are going to get in the interim period, Busia should benefit.
Don't forget even illiterate, please. Even illiterate.
So that is where we are on matters motor vehicle. Very serious business. We are happy the kind of support that we are getting from the government, because it understands these are some of the equipments that we require as we continue to, number one, to modernize the policing services, and number two, as we continue to ensure that our police stations becomes the centers of excellence through which services are offered to the people of Kenya. We must also enable them to do that. Then there is also the question of numbers, where the senator for Busia indicated that there is a police post with two officers there, and they are all constables. What I want to say on this, number one, honorable chair and honorable members, you are all aware that last year in November, we did recruit 10,000 police officers. Recruit police officers. They are currently undergoing their training. They are in their 22nd week of training. I said here before that we have even sent some in Meru area there. They are doing the practical part of training in those areas. A clear indication that by the end of August, early September, we will be having additional police officers in the service. Meaning now the numbers where we have 2, you'll find there are 6 or there are 7. Hence, that is also going to work very well. And I hope even by then, even that police post will also have a motor vehicle, so that even with the new police officers, together with the motor vehicles, then they can be able to render their service as required by the law. But at the same time, I must also hasten Honorable Chair and Honorable members to congratulate the men and women in uniform for the works that they do on 247. On 247, 100,000 plus, ensuring that our country remains safe and secure. There is always 1 or 2, going astray, rogue. But the majority of these officers, including those in Busia, they are doing their best to ensure that everywhere within our republic remains safe and secure. And I want to salute them for a good, well-done job. And I want to encourage them that we are doing everything possible to even ensure that they have adequate numbers of motor vehicles that they require, additional police officers to ensure that they discharge their duties, especially now that we are also preparing ourselves and gearing ourselves as a country to move towards the impending general elections which will be held next year in this country. So these are the measures that we are also putting in place to ensure that even the senator for Isiolo, the issues of security are also well addressed, because we also have adequate numbers deployed in those areas once the recruits also graduate. So this is a step forward, and also to encourage that this committee, you support us so that we can also be able to recruit and train more. Yes, because the numbers are still low. Remember, right now, honorable members and honorable chair, we are studying at 1 police officers to 531 Kenyans. Yes, at now. The United Nations provides for 1 police officer to 450. So you can see we are still way off. So there is need for continuous recruitment so that we can be able to ensure that we move towards that ratio that is required, so that we ensure that the senator of Busia does not meet 2 officers. The senator of Kenya or Busia. Yes, thank you very much for that correction. You will have more officers on the ground because we will be closing the gap from 1 to 531, probably to 1 to 500, to 1 to 480, and so on. So the numbers of officers will definitely grow. So that is our
point of information to IG. The number of goons grooming and mushrooming against the police officers is wanting. And I hope you are planning to do something, because election is just coming. Because you will not manage. Number 2, the issue of transport, especially far-flung areas. And provincial administration, the sub-county administrator, are they called DCCs? Most of them, they don't have transport. And they're supposed to complement each other. So you need to discuss even that with the CS. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much, Honorable Chair and Honorable members. It is true, I have indicated there before that we have a problem with transport, and it is not only for the policing service. It's also even for the GAO teams, because all of us work together. Remember, the GAO chairs the security meetings, so we always complement each other. So that is actually the situation. But I want to say that this is an area that we want to change very fast. And if any way you can support us, please support us in that direction, and we will forever be grateful if that is done. Then. Police station. Oh yes, the police station. This one, honorable chair and honorable members. This question was asked by Senator Omugeni, and I want to say that I need just to go back to the office and I find out the status. What is where we are, what has happened, and I know our director of planning is with us here. He's just going to check, and then from there I can communicate straight to you on that matter. So the market in Meride,
that is on Masabit. This is an issue that was raised by Honorable Senator Shute. Thank you very much for that issue, that we need to provide adequate number of police officers, especially during the markets, or market days. This is what I have assured, that our principal duty is to protect and ensure that the rights and freedoms of all our people are protected, including those going to the market and those going to do other businesses. They are guaranteed. So it is through this and that we are going to address. Every other time there are markets, we can always be able to move to deploy adequate numbers, and that way we can ensure that the markets also thrive. And then I also wanted to hasten that these issues of roadblocks, once we get adequate transport in our stations, actually, it's just going to die naturally, because now the officers will be able to move out from the station, patrol, go back to the stations. They can be able, and remember, we also moving on and ensuring that we deploy technology as at now. So this kind of technology is also going to assist us. Remember, for example, we are doing it in Nairobi, we are doing it in Mombasa, it's happening in Nakuru, Eldoret, Kisumu, Nyeri, I think parts of Meru, and then from there now we'll also grow it to other centers. So you can see that there is a lot of works that are going on Honorable Chair and Honorable members to ensure that we, as we move forward, we also enhance security, complement security by the use of technology, including in the next 3 months, we should be having the digital will be with us in a manner that anything like what has been raised by Honorable Senator here, you can always raise with the nearest station. It's a matter of, urgency. And even the Inspector General, the DCI, the DIGs, they can actually be able to see that there's a serious matter that have been raised. So we are also leveraging a lot on matters technology to assist us on policing, to enhance our policing ability in the Republic, Honorable Chair and Honorable members. Now there is the issue of abductions that were mentioned in Isiolo, in Masabit. Honorable Chair.
Isiolo also. That the one abducting people using government security.
Let me mention all these issues. When Chair and members, the issues of abduction, I want first of all to say this, that the police, the National Police Service, does not abduct, but we do investigate all missing persons that are reported in all our stations throughout our country. People go missing for different reasons or for various reasons. They can go missing, either mental problem or other issues. But every report made to the police regarding a missing person, it is the duty and responsibility of the DCI to immediately open an inquiry file on the same. And that file will remain on until that issue is concluded. So, Honorable Chair and members, police does not carry out abduction, no. But police do investigate all matters reported to it, including missing persons. So, Honorable Chair, that is an area that I want to assure the Honorable Senator from Masabit that those issues, because I know they have been raised in our stations in those areas, their investigations are ongoing, and from time to time we get updated of what is happening throughout our territorial matters, security, and even in those especially serious investigations that happen from time to time. You have also noted that there are those that are indicated as missing, but then after some time they also resurface and tell us different stories. We have seen others being indicated as missing, but then we end up finding them, somewhere just enjoying themselves. And so there is a lot in that area of missing persons, and that's the reason why every reported case of missing person must be investigated to the logical conclusion, so that you can be able to understand it fully. And then
the officers in Sororo, I'm sorry that they went somewhere, somebody threatened them. Whoever threatened them should have been arrested immediately because the police have got the powers to arrest. And then that we can be able to understand why is it that he is threatening. However, let me say this. From where I sit, formed up units, the GSU, the RDUs, the border patrol units, and others, SOGs. These forces don't operate, being confined within their boundaries. No. They move around to ensure that they can be able to follow on a certain crime. Say, for example, stolen animals. We follow them from where they have been stolen to wherever they have been taken. And these are areas, the things that have been happening. But now, you have raised a very, very pertinent issue, where the construction money is coming from somewhere else, and then the building are being done somewhere else. This issue was raised in another meeting that I happened to attend, and I was together with the CS. The CS indicated that he had met the people from that area, and it was agreed that the construction should be halted. On my part, together with my team here, we are going to visit that area so that we also see it for ourselves, and then also get to understand. Because I have heard from you, I have heard from other corners. So we ourselves, we also want to go there so that we can be able to understand and even get it from officers, even from Sororo, to get to understand why is it that someone chased them away. And you also need to understand that honestly. But what I want to assure you, Mheshimiwa, is that rest assured that we, from where I sit, that area, Marsabit, must remain safe and secure. Issues can be discussed at different levels, but we ensure that our areas remains safe and secure because, as you said, we don't have any other country. We only have this one. So in whatever we do, we must remember that our country is Kenya only. We don't have another Kenya B somewhere that can go. So I believe that whatever is happening there are issues that can be discussed at other levels, but when it comes to matter security, we are going to do whatever is possible within ourselves, and if we feel that we need to escalate to the CS or to higher levels, then we can still be able to do that. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just one last one. One last one.
Or the one for the pipes.
We've really run out of time. We need to adjourn.
Just one last one on my matter. Chair, I have not had any comment on the guy who disappeared to Kismayu and came back and said I abducted him. That matter I would request anti-terror and intelligence to investigate because it's a very serious matter.
Chair, otherwise on the question of pipes that was asked by Honorable Senator from of Kenya from Busia. Honorable Senator, I want to assure you, as I have said, we have had it and we are going to look at it. We are going to get to understand what is it that is happening. The DCI have had, and he is going to institute investigations into that. With a view, first of all, we stop and then we investigate, and then we even get the criminals involved in vandalizing government properties and deal with them as guided by the Constitution. Yes, we have taken note.
Thank you. Thank you. The issue raised by Dulo.
So the issue that have just been raised by Senator Dulo about this person who disappeared, went somewhere, and then after some time, and he came back. Yeah. So I agree with you. We are going to discuss with the DCI, and then we see how best which team can actually be able, because we have got the best investigators. Honorable Senator.
No, they are there. They can do the job.
Very well, IG. Thank you very much for your time, ID. And as a committee, we give the following directions: that the committee takes exceptional concern with the manner in which the governors have remained unaccountable in many aspects, the committee directs the IG to take the necessary steps to address this matter. Secondly, the subject matter on Senator Osorti, the committee adjourns the consideration of the matter pending the appearance of the CS Interior. Thirdly, the IG is directed to conclude the investigations on the matter of threats to the life of Senator Fatuma Dulo within 14 days. Fourthly, the Office of the IG takes every necessary steps to protect the life of Senator Fatuma Dulo and assure her of safety in Isiolo as an elected leader. 5, the subject matter relating to the degazettement of Upper Hill Police Station is adjourned, pending the submission of the relevant documents on the ownership of the land to the committee within 7 days as directed by the committee. And following that, the committee shall be asking the following officers to appear before the committee: the AG, the PCS, the IG, and the CS Interior. With those remarks, IG and your team, I want to thank you. And IG, I don't know if citizens without uniform can salute the police officers, but we do salute, we do cherish, we do honor the police officers in uniform, those who are not in uniform, who are serving this country. And we do believe that the police officers and the men and women in uniform are our heroes. We cherish them. And you have the full support of this committee, IG. And we do know very well that the challenges that the police, National Police Service is facing. But from time to time, we are tasked as elected leaders to ask questions that the public pose to us. And that's why we have the role of oversighting the National Police Service. So when we are asking tough questions, it's because we're doing our job. It's not because we don't respect and honor the officers in uniform. We do very much. And if we as citizens are allowed to salute, we salute you. I think, Mugen, you should actually physically salute the officers and the commanders who are here. Thank you very much. This meeting is adjourned, and we can leave at our own pleasure.
Properly. I thank you.
Thank you, Senator.
Chair.
IG, I think you've heard the Senator very clearly. And this matter is actually very sensitive, not only to this committee, but to the Senate at large. We're trying to examine the alleged shooting and the prior threats against the Senator. But also, there's the larger question of the Constitution that provides protection to every citizen, and whether, if the state or the National Police Service is meeting the obligation to protect elected leaders. And IG, what makes this matter even more sensitive is that we are going to an election period very soon. Leaders, I think, different leaders are wondering if whether we're going to have a free and fair and peaceful election if we, at this point in time, see threats against elected leaders. I think Senator Dulo has asked several questions. I don't know if you had an opportunity to take note of all of them. If you could please proceed to tackle. Let us have the questions raised by Senator Dulo addressed, and then we'll take further questions and interrogate the matter even further. IG, please.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair and Honorable members. I'm going to go through what the Honorable Senator Dulo has said in the outrights, and then the DCI is going to give the necessary details. But let me start by saying this, Honorable Chair and Honorable members. Number one, let me say that our country is safe and secure. All the people of Kenya, either your properties are safe and secure because the 100,000 plus police officers of this country are on duty fulfilling the requirement of the Constitution on 247 in all the villages of the Republic of Kenya. All the 1,300 police stations that are distributed throughout Kenya are working in the fulfillment of the requirements of the Constitution. So I want to assure the honorable members here, the entire Senate, Parliament, and all the people of Kenya that we are safe. That's the starting point. Number two, Honorable Chair and honorable members, on matters raised by the Honorable Senator Dulo, the Senator of Osorti, they are very, very sensitive matter. And the National Police Service takes them very, very serious. And that is the reason why when I got her consents, I did direct to the DCI to assemble another team from Nairobi to look at all the issues that have been raised. And the only asking at this level, Honorable Chair and Honorable members, is that the Honorable Senator is going to work closely with us so that we can be able to conclude these issues, because she has raised weighty issues. We need them. We need to record those statements by the new team so that we can be able to clear all the gaps that could be existing, and also, open and ensure that the entire investigation is actually fully exploited. I think that's the only asking from where I sit to the Honorable Senator. And having said that, Honorable Chair, I would like Mr. Amin now to probably deal with the technical areas in terms of investigation, what he has done and what is it that he is doing, Honorable Chair.
Director.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair and the members. Like I said a short while ago, Honorable Chair, I had an opportunity to go through the police file. And I can confirm to this committee that indeed there was shooting. And I can further confirm that Honorable Fatuma Dulo did not stage manage that shooting. This was an act by criminals with very, very bad intentions. And I'm very optimistic that we'll get them. Secondly, Honorable Chair, is the aspect of the delay in the submission of the cartridges to the forensics lab. And this is something I myself noticed when I was perusing the file. And I instructed the RCIO Eastern to give a show cause letter to the investigating officers to explain the circumstances behind the delay in the submission of the 4 spent cartridges. We are yet to get the response, but on the basis of the response that we'll be getting from the investigating officers, then that will inform my next course of action. In terms of the 2 suspects, it is true that they were summoned by the investigating officers. and they recorded statements. So, contrary to the allegations by the Honorable Governor, who is not with us in this committee, nobody is untouchable. If there is evidence to show that they were the perpetrators, they were the persons who committed this shooting, then appropriate action will be taken against these two suspects as per law established. In terms of the allegation that there is manipulation of the raw data, that's not true, Honorable Chair. The DCI or the National Police Service does not generate data from the service providers. We are given the raw data, we analyze the data and take action on the basis and the outcome of that analysis. So that data is safe, and appropriate action will be taken depending on the outcome of our analysis. After I discussed with the investigations team, of course, there were various challenges in the investigations. The incident, Honorable Chair, happened on 23rd of February 2026. And immediately after the incident, the Honorable Senator came to the police station and the report was booked. Unfortunately, she didn't record her statement immediately. The investigations officers received her statement on 13th of March 2026, and that was a written statement. She did not present the statement herself, but she gave the statement to one of her employees, who handed over the statement to the CCIO, Isiolo. After the officers went through the statement made by the senator, they realized that there were some glaring gaps in that statement that required some further clarifications. And then over time, and I'm informed by the investigating officers, getting the senator was a problem. Until 1 or 2 days ago that they were able to reach out to her, and they had a session somewhere in Lavington where the Honorable Senator expressed her concerns that she does not have confidence with the current investigations team. And after I consulted with Inspector General, then we were in agreement that we now appoint a new team to take over the investigations and to investigate the matter to its logical conclusion. The aspect of why we have not recorded statements from the senator. Honorable Chair, in terms of the hierarchy of statement recorded, it generally follows a structured approach. And there are specific steps. We are guided by the evidence. The investigations are conducted methodically.
Point of order. Yeah. Is it the governor or the senator?
The governor.
You said senator, so I think you need to retract that from answer.
It's the governor. In terms of why we did not record a statement from the governor, I said we have our own investigative protocols. And when the time is right for us to summon the governor, he is not above the law. We have the National Police Service Act with us that we can compel the attendance of the governor. And we will do that certainly because his name has been mentioned severally by the senator. And we are going to call him when the time is ready. Otherwise, Honorable Chair, I would like to reassure the Honorable Senator that this matter will be investigated thoroughly and very, very professionally, and that justice will be served to the Honorable Senator, and that is a commitment I am undertaking as the DCI of the Republic of Kenya, and in the presence of my Inspector General. Thank you.
Thank you,
Chair, can I ask
Director. Let me give guidance. We've heard from Senator Dulo
We've had the response from the IG and the Director General, Director DCI. And I think, Dulo, yes, I wanted to propose that we give an opportunity to other senators to interrogate the matter on your behalf. Because we still have time. Senator Dulo, I know you're very attached to this matter, and it will be only fair for us as a committee to interrogate the matter, even on your own behalf. And then we'll still give you an opportunity to clarify on some issues that you see are missing. Honorable Senators, we are going to interrogate the matter. I will give you an opportunity. And I think also as the chair, I also have questions, and I should start by asking the questions, then give the opportunity to the other senators to ask. My question will be to the director, DCI. In your submission to the reply by Senator Dulo, you did indicate to the committee that you found that there were glaring gaps in the statement that was provided by the senator. To date, have those gaps been addressed by the investigation team? Secondly, you did indicate that you set up a new team to take over the investigation. I would like to know, because you said you did it in writing, appointed a new team. I just want to know the date that the new team was established to investigate the matter. You did indicate in your submissions that the two individuals that the senator has raised concerns about their involvement in the shooting, that the investigations so far have not brought out clear evidence in their involvement in the actual shooting. The question is there any evidence to show that they were involved in any way in the matter? I think we'll take two more questions from two other senators, and then you can answer. Senator Cherargei.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you for the indulgence. You have to appreciate today there are so many committee meetings back to back. But, Chair, I'm shocked, you know, for me and backbencher colleagues in Parliament and Senate, we are worried that if a chairperson of national security and foreign relations, Inspector General of Police, can be attacked in broad daylight, what happens to the backbenchers like us and the Olopolois? But I hope, IG, when you say the country is safe and secure, we can take that word as an aspect of confidence in the security sector. And we wish well Senator Dulo. And if you need any counseling support services, I think as a Senate, we should think about it because it was scary. Number two, I have only two questions. DCI, you have indicated that you have a duplicate file, and there is another file with DPP. My only concern is you have indicated that there were glaring gaps in the investigation in that file. Would it not be neater to recall the file from ODPP instead of giving DPP a lot of work by submitting a file? Then if they reject, you come, or is there communication between you and ODPP to ensure that the file is recalled back and those gaps? Because, Chair, we are familiar in this country, some of these files are taken to DPP in skeleton fashion so that it is easy to terminate some of these cases, and therefore they are not prosecuted. So is there communication, DCI, that you have done with ODPP to recall back the file, ensure those gaps are well taken care of, and that file is finally, Chair, Inspector General of Police, there is the pattern of attacks against leaders in this country. A former MCA in Wasingishu called Edwin Misoi was attacked. He stayed for ICU and HDU, is now in general ward. Allegations mean that it is because of political attacks and different opinion. Senator Dulo was attacked. And my brother, Senator Osorti, was also attacked. Does it not worry you and what is the position of the police? Because my thinking through the chair with a lot of indulgence, it shows that if you can attack a leader, what happens to the ordinary wananchi? You know, that's my only concern. Because a leader, she is supposed to be epitome and beacon of security. So if IG, you are telling us we are secure and safe, yet leaders are attacked by goons, 40 of them. Chair, you remember your cabinet say he knows up to the people we sleep with at night. Why it is hard to arrest some of these people, like what Senator Dulo is saying. If the police know who I sleep with, where I take tea, they know where I am. Why is it hard when it comes to arresting some of these criminals? Was it a political statement, or is the police on top notch of the security? And Chair, in conclusion, because you must assure us of the security not only of elected leaders but Kenyans. If you look at the history of Haiti, it started like this, where goons overran established security system. Now we are running to Haiti to try and fix the country that is fragile. While we congratulate the police for trying to bring sense of security in Haiti, Inspector General of Police, this pattern, even as we approach the general elections, what can you assure us, and what strategy do you have in place to ensure leaders are protected? Chair, those are my two questions.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Sifuna. And don't prompt the IG to tell the public where we slept last night. So you leave that out.
Chair, why are you worried that we know where you are sleeping?
Chair, to me, the response by the DCI is a bit encouraging because, first of all, he has confirmed that Senator Dulo did not stage manage this attack, as has been alleged. And I am more interested in that particular issue of allegations of stage management of attacks. Because IG, as you are aware, I am one of those people who has actually been accused of stage managing attacks against myself. One of the things you need to clarify to us, IG, in terms of these incendiary devices such as the tear gas canisters, please explain to us whether these items are serialized and the sort of arrangements in terms of chain of custody of those weapons. Is it possible for you to ascertain who and where that tear gas canister came from? Even when firearms are released from a police station, I believe there is a register. And I want you to just tell us whether it is possible for a civilian such as myself to be able to access that without the connivance of the police. Secondly, the DCI has said that he directed that the initial investigating officers be given a show cause letter. We want to know the reason, because Senator Dulo has said that she knows there was interference in that investigation. Is the show cause letter out of incompetence because you saw gaps in the investigative abilities of that officer, or is it confirmation of what Dulo was saying, that in fact there was political interference in that investigation? Thirdly, Honorable Chair, you have told us that the two suspects appeared before you to register or to write statements. I want to know whether you established whether these two suspects are licensed firearm holders and whether they surrendered any firearms to you. And then lastly, Chair, this question of timelines is very worrying to us because you can see the pace at which the investigation is moving. And I can feel the DCI almost trying to throw the ball back to Senator Fatuma Dulo, that somehow she is the one who's been stalling the investigation by not being available to the investigating officer. I find that a very unfair accusation, Bwana Amin. In all honesty, all of us here are the easiest people to find. If your CS can call Dulo to tell her that he is not available to come to a meeting, just oppose that with what you are telling us. That on a matter that is so personal to the threat and the life of the person of Senator Dulo, you are telling us that somehow your officers were unable to reach her. And this is a matter you can see. It's very personal and very sensitive. She is available. She has always been available. Please, it would be very unfair for you to try and push this thing back on the victim of such an attack. So on the question of timelines, ordinarily, this forensic laboratory for ballistic analysis Can you paint a picture for the country? How long does it take to do a ballistic analysis? What sort of challenges are you facing? Is there capacity issues? I mean, how many ballistic tests are conducted in that lab in a day? What level of crime are we that there's serious backlog? It can take 2 months to just do a ballistic analysis on 2 bullets. It doesn't make any sense to us. And as a committee responsible for security, if there are gaps, IG, it is our responsibility to help you in terms of growing the capacity of that lab, whether there are financing gaps, whatever it is, you need to tell us so that we know. And then lastly, on this call data records, also tell us about the timelines. If a request comes from, if a request comes from the DCI, are you honestly telling us that it takes Safaricom 2 months to give you the call data records? No wonder even in the incident involving Senator Osorti, Honorable Chair, we are being told that the suspect somehow sneaked out of the country. It is just absolutely, it doesn't make sense to us. How is it possible that it takes 2 months after a request from the police officers for us to be able to be told these things? And yet, as Senator Chirargea said, Chair, you know, those statements by the CS from Interior, they are very worrying. We have a constitutional right to privacy. If Murkomen can confirm that he knows where Sifuna sleeps and who he sleeps with, it means he is monitoring my movements. I am very worried. As the IG of police, you need to assure us. If I am under surveillance, you need to tell me I am under surveillance. I am not a criminal. And the people we sleep with, there's no constitutional limit to where and how and to whom. How is that the business? How is that the business of the Ministry of Interior? What they should be focusing on, Chair, let me just conclude, is solving these issues. And this is why we don't want politicization of the security sector. We have a lot of respect for you as a police force. We know you have very difficult circumstances under which you work. It breaks our hearts, IG, because we also talk to your officers. You find that, for instance, there is a bandit attack somewhere, and there is no police vehicle to be able to respond. At the very same time, your resources as a police service, we have 4 land cruisers full of policemen just outside Tuju's Dairy restaurant, just chilling there. You know, we feel terrible. It's a misallocation of resources because of politicization of police service. So, for me, Chair, we want to help you as a service. We have a lot of respect for you. We know what you do under very difficult circumstances. But if you don't paint a picture for us as Parliament, we cannot be able to help. I thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Senator. Before I ask the IG to let them respond to those questions, then we'll take further questions. Before you respond, let me allow Senator Osorti to go on record.
Thank you, Chair. Godfrey Osorti, Senator Vihiga County, and a member of this committee. And Chair, maybe you can allow me, because I've come late.
Yeah, no, I'll give you an opportunity. Let them respond to the various questions that were raised.
Okay.
Because there will be too many questions.
A preliminary issue,
okay,
which would be important to this committee. I'm sorry for coming in late. I've read through the response by the ministry, and Chair, this is the same response that was provided to the National Assembly as a response to a statement by Honorable Diki Maungu. And this particular response then was signed by the PS for Interior, Raymond Omolo. And it was rejected by the members. Now what they have done is that they have just maintained the same copy-paste and given to the CS to sign. So on the issue of admissibility, I would like you to rule on that, because this statement was rejected because basically the first 3 paragraphs were actually my statement before the police. And then there were insinuations in that statement which the members rejected. So on the aspect of admissibility, I would like you to make a decision on that.
Senator,
so that you don't waste my time.
Let me guide you first of all. Like you said, you came late. We are handling the statement by Senator Dulo on the shooting that happened in Isiolo, and then we're going to come to your matter. Now, in terms of whether or not if this is a copy-paste of the submissions that was made by to the National Assembly, we are going to establish that, and maybe before we reach clerk, if we can get confirmation, and then we'll give a ruling on that. So let us allow the IG to respond on the questions that have been raised.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members. Let me start by saying that the questions that have been raised are valid, and they are very, very important, actually. I'm going to deal with some parts. Mr. Amin is going to do the others, and I will also invite the DIG KPS to deal with a certain section of some of the questions that have been asked. Number one, I first of all want to repeat what I've said there before, that our country is safe and secure. All of us, this morning we woke up
How is that the business? How is that the business of the Ministry of Interior? What they should be focusing on, Chair, let me just conclude, is solving these issues. And this is why we don't want politicization of the security sector. We have a lot of respect for you as a police force. We know you have very difficult circumstances under which you work. It breaks our hearts, IG, because we also talk to your officers. You find that, for instance, there is a bandit attack somewhere, and there is no police vehicle to be able to respond. At the very same time, your resources as a police service, we have 4 land cruisers full of policemen just outside Tuju's Dairy restaurant, just chilling there. You know, we feel terrible. It's a misallocation of resources because of politicization of police service. So, for me, Chair, we want to help you as a service. We have a lot of respect for you. We know what you do under very difficult circumstances. But if you don't paint a picture for us as Parliament, we cannot be able to help. I thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Senator. Before I ask the IG to let them respond to those questions, then we'll take further questions. Before you respond, let me allow Senator Osorti to go on record.
Thank you, Chair. Godfrey Osorti, Senator Vihiga County, and a member of this committee. And Chair, maybe you can allow me, because I've come late.
Yeah, no, I'll give you an opportunity. Let them respond to the various questions that were raised.
Okay.
Because there will be too many questions.
A preliminary issue,
okay,
which would be important to this committee. I'm sorry for coming in late. I've read through the response by the ministry, and Chair, this is the same response that was provided to the National Assembly as a response to a statement by Honorable Diki Maungu. And this particular response then was signed by the PS for Interior, Raymond Omolo. And it was rejected by the members. Now what they have done is that they have just maintained the same copy-paste and given to the CS to sign. So on the issue of admissibility, I would like you to roll on that, because this statement was rejected because basically the first 3 paragraphs were actually my statement before the police. And then there were insinuations in that statement which the members rejected. So on the
Senator,
aspect of admissibility, I would like you to make a decision on that.
Senator,
so that you don't waste my time.
Let me guide you first of all. Like you said, you came late. We are handling the statement by Senator Dulo on the shooting that happened in Isiolo. And then we're going to come to your matter. Now, in terms of whether or not if this is a copy-paste of the submissions that was made by to the National Assembly, we are going to establish that, and maybe before we reach clerk, if we can get confirmation, and then we'll give a ruling on that. So let us allow the IG to respond on the questions that have been raised.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members. Let me start by saying that the questions that have been raised are valid, and they are very, very important, actually. I'm going to deal with some parts. Mr. Amin is going to do the others, and I will also invite the DIG KPS to deal with a certain section of some of the questions that have been asked. Number one, I first of all want to repeat what I've said there before, that our country is safe and secure. All of us this morning we woke up